Hi, welcome to Carverse. Today we are going to talk about the 2023 Porsche 911 Sport Classic. Before we start the video, please subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell in order not to miss the latest car news. The new 2023 Porsche 911 Sport Classic is many things, but there are two primary ones to know. First, it's the second model from Porsche's Heritage Design series that pays homage to classic 911s of the late 60s and early 70s, most notably the 73 Carrera 2.7 RS, but with nods to the 2010 997 Sport Classic. Second, with a limited run of 1,250 units worldwide, it's a must-have for well-heeled Porsche collectors. While the uninitiated might mistake a passing Sport Classic for a run-of-the-mill 911, Porschephiles will spot the differences immediately. Double bubble roof, ducktail spoiler, center lock wheels measuring 20 inches up front and 21 out back, and a gum ball on the doors for a favorite racing number. Most unique, though, are the quarter panels. They're flared like those of the 911 Turbo but lack that car's intake openings. Air now flows into an opening ahead of the spoiler. Porsche modified prototype turbo tooling to make the unique panels, but that's still a lot of money and effort for a limited run car. As for the powertrain, it's the ultimate parts bin special. The Sport Classic borrows the 911 Turbo's 3.7-liter twin turbocharged engine, detuned by 29 horsepower and 111 pounds-to-foot to 543 horsepower and 442 pounds-to-foot so that it can play nice with the Carrera's 7-speed manual transmission. Incidentally, that makes it the most powerful manual transmission 911 currently on offer. It powers the rear wheels only, so consider this power package to be in homage to the original 930 911 Turbo, which was exclusively manual/RWD. But while the original rear-drive turbo was a suicide machine, the new Sport Classic is a surprisingly gentle car, so docile that it's hard to believe there's so much power hanging out beyond the rear axle. But while it may be friendly, it's also hugely quick. Porsche claims a 0 to 60 mph time of 3.9 seconds. The clutch is light and the 7-speed stick is good fun to row, even if it falls just shy of the best-in-the-world feel of the GT3's sublime 6-speed. That said, the manual transmission is largely superfluous, so long as the engine is between 2,500 and 7,000 revolutions per minute, a range conveniently green banded on the talk. The 911 Sport Classic will charge ahead like a destrier. What struck us about the new 992 Sport Classic is its gentlemanly demeanor. Our trip to Porsche's hometown included a refresher drive in the previous Sport Classic, the 2010 997 generation car, which was built in an even smaller batch of 250 cars and never imported to the US. The old Sport Classic is a hardcore sportster with a heavy clutch, hyper-responsive steering, and an iron-willed suspension, and it drives more like a GT model than a Carrera. We couldn't help but wonder if the feedback from buyers was that the next Sport Classic should be less intense. Whatever the reason, the new car is more of a touring car, with a busy but compliant ride and delightfully light steering. It never itches to get out of shape like those old Widowmaker 930s, rather, it has sufficient rubber and electronics to keep the back end securely planted. By 911 standards, the Sport Classic is quick and quiet, a stealth speeder for those who have a track-ready 911 like a GT3 or a 911 are back home in the garage, next to the Carrera 4 they use as a winter beater. It's not the driving experience that sets it apart, it's that glance into the rearview mirror that reveals the ducktail spoiler peeking up through the back window. The retro-flavored, Pepita-trimmed interior is also pretty fabulous. If you can appreciate those, you can appreciate the Sport Classic. Whether you can afford to appreciate it is another matter. The 911 Sport Classic lists for $273,750, making it the most expensive model in the current 911 lineup. This is not the 911 for those who have saved for decades to buy the Porsche of their dreams. Rather, it's the blue-chip collector car that Porsche dealers are likely to allocate only to their best customers, folks who will likely be able to sell them for a significant profit sometime down the line. All of which sort of renders irrelevant all that we've written here. Of the 1,250 folks who will buy these things new, and that's the worldwide production total, by the way, what we say is unlikely to sway them. What ramifications, if any, does the 911 Sport Classic have for the common man? The exclusive bundling of the 911 turbo engine, manual transmission, and rear-wheel drive is a headline maker, to be sure. But as we've said, the 3.7S torque, even in detuned form, is so prodigious, that it nullifies the need to change gears much. You could bolt the shifter into third and drive the car all day. Now, if we could get the GT3's 6-speed in a Carrera GTS, of course, that's another conversation entirely. Back to the 911 Sport Classic, What better can we say about this car than it is what it is? It's not like the 911R, where Porsche set out to make the best performing 911 it could. It's not like the GTS, where Porsche aimed for a particular sweet spot between performance and livability. It's a unique combination of parts designed for Porsche diehards ready for the next new thing. And if that sounds cynical, then forgive us, as that is not our intent. The 911 Sport Classic is a wonderful car that we're eager to drive again. Would we pay $275,000 for one? No, but we're not the target audience, and those who are will find the Sport Classic hits a definitive bullseye. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more following videos.